Hello guys. So anyway, join me again, but this time for something a little bit different. And this is this whole disabled to enabled thing. Just 2 seconds, let me come in. Try me a fucking Asda again. I can't wait until I don't have to go to superstores again. It drives me nuts. So anyway, let's see what the face direct does this time, because it's growing, ever growing, ever learning. Not. There. So anyway, right, this whole disabled to enabled, just want to do something, because obviously I want to do something else as well, just to show you. I should have in my pocket a Healthy Start voucher. I have somewhere in my pocket. And I wanted to say, obviously, that soon they're going over to cards too. It's bloody freezing outside, like seriously, so fucking cold. But anyway, I feel so much better from my chiropractor session. And literally now, all I'm waiting for is for Nick to write a report. Now, the thing is, when I first went to see Nick, which was in 2016, obviously it's a lot of money to pay £60 to get cracked. I might have someone say hello to me, 2 seconds. He's going, she's there. Bless. Yeah, there you go. All the heads turned back. So anyway, basically, I've just got to go in and out of Asda quickly. But basically, 2 seconds, this one go past. Hello. I just go past quickly because they were obviously waiting to say hello, but I've got to nip in and nip out quickly. Right, so this whole disabled to enabled thing that pisses me off, and especially when it comes to children being taken by social care and the whole multi-agency framework and child protection. So move away from EDS and let's just use epilepsy for an example. So say I was walking around Asda right now and I had epilepsy, I would have a neck chain or a bracelet that says epileptic. So if all of a sudden, and I could if I really wanted to, put a camera down on the floor and pretend to have an epileptic fit in the middle of the shop to show you what they would do. But one, it's not fucking funny, and two, I'd probably get sent off to the psychiatric youth centre for mental health testing. I'm sure I'm only coming in for milk. I've got a milk voucher and I'm sticking to it because my phone goes down at midnight and I usually pay £25 to keep it up properly to make sure I've got enough internet, enough to be able to live, blah, 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 blah. And bless, Tina's gone and helped me out and put 30 quid in, and then my fucking Apple's gone out and I'm struggling because I've got about 3 or 4 accounts where I've just got to make sure this voucher goes over, by the way, because you get about £4.25 on the voucher, and obviously milk doesn't equate to exactly what it is. So let's get Shiloh's grapes. So obviously, just go back to the whole disabled enabled thing, and whatever job, whatever a human, male, female, whatever you want to call yourself, the fact is, every single one of us in the world right now wants to buy things. So you want to buy things. You want to buy presents. You want to buy Christmas things. You want a home. You want a car. You want nice things. So that means you have a job, yeah, just over broke. So there are people that will have a job. So people who work in Asda, people that will work in the security, people that will work in the police. I'm going to go to this one quickly. People that take jobs as carers. And this all comes back down, doesn't it, to education. What school did you go to? Who's your father? What is it can you do? All this sort of stuff. So this disabled to enabled thing. Sorry, I'm so distracted, but I want to say something because I'm out and about and I want to get my lives done. No bags. More sunflowers. Just 2 seconds because as soon as I've done this, I can be with you. Right, so this is what I was trying to get out of my pocket. So I was trying to basically say that in this country, we have what's called healthy start vouchers, right? And obviously people who are considered sick, so off work sick, so I would be considered off work sick, are waiting for what's going on with my neck, basically. And let me just scan a coupon. I'll watch. So anyone who's never seen these before, this is for people that are on government benefit that have got children to help out with milk and vegetables, basically. Right, so ugh. Right, so flip back to this whole disabled to enabled thing, right? When I first... 2 seconds, because she's going to have to come over just to approve this. Cheers, thanks. So... 2 seconds, guys, because I tried to do this in the middle and tried to make a point of while I'm doing it. So obviously for me, I wanted to get the disabled badge, right? So here in the UK, disabled, a person who is considered ill, sick or with a condition is pretty much considered to be in a wheelchair, and that is the framework of it. And what I've been trying to say is that isn't the case. And most people, whether they have epilepsy, whether they might have arthritis, it might be diabetic, they might have a child with behavioural issues, they might have just a clot in their leg. You cannot say that every person who's sick is to sit in a wheelchair. And in this country, you're forced to, basically. So, 2 seconds, it's very noisy. So say you struggle with getting upstairs and things like that, you have to be in a wheelchair 24/7 to be able to get any form of help. Just this guy's moving. So, and this brings it back down. I know it's late and I don't want to talk about all this. I'm trying to put it into content for people, right? That at the end of the day, with my condition as such, there is a solution, yeah? And we are so ingrained and so in this system. It's like even Dean said today, even for his dentist, he just can't deal with the system as a whole. But then I said to him, but aren't you glad that the boys have been to the dentist? And it's like, yeah, cool. So we have this whole mindset of people that go, everybody's scamming the system. It's people on drugs. It's people on alcohol. It's all this stuff, and they're getting money. And they'll go, oh, they're getting £1,000 a week. They're not getting £1,000 a week, right? And I'm trying to show you right at the bottom of the level of benefits. And it's really fucking hard to do when you're trying to move forward. And that gap is so difficult because you have your house. So what I said to the system back in 2010, it was like, it doesn't matter whether you've got Stephen Hawkins or whether you've got Superman or anybody. Even if somebody has an accident, there is a way of continuing moving them forward. And I said this to Nick today, if sunrise sunset is my goal and I'm struggling in the mornings and my biggest problem and hurdle is in the mornings, then this is when that should be bridged and that gap should be bridged. So if I have to keep some maintenance of the condition, this is where it's all going wrong. Because the system, for me particularly, said no chiropractor. No physio would let me go to a chiropractor. No GP would let me go to a chiropractor. And no EDS specialist would let me go to a chiropractor. They all put the fear in me that it would cause further problems. No, surgery would cause further problems. Bracing me causes further problems. And medicating me causes further problems. You cannot go to your GP and sit down with your GP and explain all this stuff in a 5, even a 10-minute appointment, right? You just can't. And then it's so fragmented because then you go into a physio and you go into this. Nobody, even COVID, nobody is like, okay, use COVID as an example in the Philippines, right? I was on the phone trying to sort out my PayPal, right? And I was on the phone to Philippines. And I said to him, what it's like over there for your medical. And they said they pay for everything apart from if you can prove it's COVID. And then they will foot half of the bill. With travelling, I've always struggled because my mum ended up paying $3,000 for my sister when she broke her arm. We get sick. We get ill. My son's got a chicken pox at the moment. He's being bathed in oatmeal. He's got chamomile. He's had some antibiotics, and and we have these things that we can use. But in a system that is only interested in, so for carers out there, they'll know. You get to make sure that they can wash their own arses, whether they can make food, whether they can get normal activities, and they'll put in people to help make sure the bills are covered. But they don't put in the system to help that person be who they are. Because funding someone to go tennis or funding for somebody, they see it as just hobbies. These are not our hobbies. These are who we are. It's not childish to skateboard at 40. It's not childish to BMX and skate. That's people's mindset. And it's like, if somebody has a limitation from where they are to where they want to be, it's how you close that gap. And this is where the system is going wrong, because they go, this is where you are, so this is where you're going to stay. And that will even be, oh, you're broke. Okay, so you're going to go on government benefits and you're going to go on job seekers. Or, okay, you're sick, so therefore you can go on this. Or you are long-term sick and therefore you are physically disabled. Now we don't have disability living allowance, but we have independent personal payments. But what are they doing to actually make people independent when one size fits all budget doesn't work? At the end of the day, somebody like me needs to be with a chiropractor, because if I have a condition that means, like take today, I didn't have a subluxation or a dislocation, but all of the ones in my back of my neck were completely jammed, and he's completely cracked that back free for me today. My pelvis has been put back in. There would have been absolutely no point me going to A&E and telling them I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. That means I have subluxations and dislocations and my pelvis is out, because they'll go and x-ray at it and they can't damn see it. And the MRI system that we have is not up to par on the level of bodies, because there just isn't enough of us like this that are hypermobile, and not enough of us have actually been talking about how it really feels. The only way that students learn and understand is by talking to the people that are going through it. And this also includes paedophilia. And there's a lot of uproar at the moment about people speaking to paedophiles and asking them why. Because unless you understand the why, you are never ever going to get to the, is this something that's got to change and can we fix it? And this is why I've always had a problem with this system, because I've been penalised so many times. I've had children taken, things done, all sorts of stuff. And it's all about somebody else's opinion and mindset. It's all about, like, take for example, if you've got such a debilitating condition, how come you can do that? That's somebody's mindset. You shouldn't get in the way of any person who's battling anything. It doesn't matter if it's a physical condition. It doesn't matter if it's a brain matter. It doesn't matter if it's your broken consciousness. Don't allow the mental system, mental health system, which is nothing more than a pharmaceutical profiting company, to label you. You are either conscious or your conscience has been broken. And every single one of us can be restored and repaired. And you don't have to live in these labels. Be it that they say you have depression. If you have depression, then it means that you're not living true to yourself. And also you're focused so much on your own challenges that maybe you should look beyond yourself. People who are borderline personality don't know themselves. Go and get 3 to 5 hobbies and extend on them to become more of your personality and character. If they say that you are schizophrenic, it's because you're trying to understand the battlefield of your mind, of your subconscious and your unconscious, to bring those two together, and you're having congruency issues. And if they say that you're, what's the other one, bipolar, that is usually the fact that your chemical imbalance is because you're breaking through for confidence and non-confidence. You start building yourself up, feeling really good about yourself, somebody knocks you down. So your dopamine, your serotonin is doing this. Yeah, there are all these things that you can do, but they're just episodes of past thoughts and actions. And you can change that at any point by moving forward. And it's the same with this condition that I battle. My ultimate goal is to focus on it being a incurable disease, curable from within, yeah? That I can overcome this through other methods and thoughts than being disabled. Now, when it comes to somebody slightly different, we're dealing with a lot of obviously more visual disabilities, then it's slightly different. But anyway, Dean's made tea for us tonight and I need to get home. So I just want to say to government, don't disable us, enable us. But you can't tell somebody that what they have is not real. You've got to understand from where they are. And you can't come in and go, boom, 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 your life's completely shit, because someone will go, fuck you. You have to say, there is a better way, by showing a new vision. Because we talk about the past and we stay in the present, but we don't project into the future. And our future is for us to make and unfold right before our very eyes. But for as long as we're being kept in the past, kept in the past, kept in the past, kept in the past, and that's what the system does. So, hey, you're in a really good place right now, but when you were a child, you did this. Keeps you in the past, triggers you constantly, 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 keeps you in reaction. So you never actually build a future for yourself. And it doesn't matter what you're battling, you still don't have to be the labels that they say. We are not our paperwork. We're people. So that's all I've got to say. Have a nice day.